I've just rolled credits on Pokopia after anywhere from 50 to 100 hours of playing. I honestly have no idea. This game just sucks the concept of time right out of your system. The world stopped turning when I was playing this game, as far as I'm concerned. Pokopia feels like a new home. Every time I log on, there's a warm sense of belonging. All the Pokemon I've created habitats for greet me like their best friend, and even the ones who sleep on the ground in puddles of muck because I haven't gotten around to their living situations are nicer than I deserve for neglecting them and give me gifts sometimes for being such a cool guy. Thanks for the wheat seeds, Electabuzz. I promise I'll give you a second thought one day. His introductory habitat was 4 trash cans in a square, so he kinda did it to himself. I'm getting ahead of myself though, so I should first probably answer the question of what is Pokopia? Pokopia is a cross between Dragon Quest Builders, Animal Crossing, and obviously Pokemon. Minecraft gets tossed around in this conversation, but Dragon Quest Builders is its own flavor of Minecraft, and those specificities are what's going on here, so just calling it Minecraft doesn't really get the picture right. Your goal is to methodically rebuild the ecosystem by creating habitats that are suitable for certain Pokemon, who will then show up out of the blue and become officially present in the area to interact with and either help them do stuff or have them help you do stuff. These habitats are specific arrangements of environmental tiles, decorations, and/or furniture. They can be as simple as 4 tall grass tiles next to each other, or involve 5 different pieces of furniture, lights, barrels, benches, literal trash, you name it. Each habitat, of which there are over 100 and even have their own Pokedex called the Habitat Dex, can spawn certain individual Pokemon. Some of them have a few that could potentially show up, and some are designed for one specific dude, but each instance of a habitat spawns exactly one Pokemon, and there are no repeat Pokemon. You're not making a Bulbasaur army by putting tall grass everywhere. This heightens the individuality of the Pokemon and makes them much more endearing and special, in my opinion. There's only one Pidgey, and that's the Pidgey. Maybe you'll even start to give a damn about Pidgey, but probably not, because there's Murkrow and shit, and that's way cooler. I don't know exactly how many Pokemon are in the game. I myself have habitated 140 of them, which is insane. Imagine 140 Animal Crossing villagers spread out across 5 towns. And I don't feel like that's even that close to all of them. I still have tons of unmade habitats, and no doubt even more undiscovered ones that I don't even have a whiff of their existence. The game will show you traces of Pokemon sometimes and tell you about a habitat you haven't made, and you can also purchase some limited hints from the Pokemon Center in each town, but even after a week of running around doing all that, I know there's still so much beyond my current purview, to say nothing of events that promise to add more Pokemon and content to the game, like the Hoppip one that's currently going on. Pokopia can feel massive at times, but you don't have to keep tabs on everyone. You can log on whenever and do whatever you want at your own pace, and nobody's relationship is going to sour or anything. Unless you destroy their home or take their decorations away, they don't like that. A wooden crate is like God to them. If you pocket their garbage by accident, they act like they lost the family jewels. I do love how alive they feel. They did a great job making the Pokemon in this game feel like real creatures that run around and interact with each other and have emotions and just experience the various permutations of consciousness. I gave my Amora an iron bed for his house, and he got so excited he ran to the first Pokemon he saw, told them about it, and brought them back to his house to show them. I beamed. I was like, oh, these Pokemon are real, and they are my friends, and I would die for them. There's still a lot to talk about, so let's get to the game graph, where we're out here judging story, graphics, mechanics, and fun as separate categories before culminating together with an overall score at the end, starting with story. Pokopia's story is surprisingly deep. It's equal parts heartwarming and tragic. You take the form of a Ditto who takes the form of how it remembers its missing trainer, and you are introduced to this barren wasteland with hardly any signs of life until you meet an albino Tangrowth and rescue a dehydrated Squirtle who teaches you your first transformation ability. As a Ditto, you are known for transforming into whatever Pokemon and can therefore learn a bunch of their moves, and these transformation moves are how you begin the process of revitalizing the valley, using Squirtle's water gun to moisten dry soil, Bulbasaur's leafage to create tall grass habitats, and Charmander's nothing to do nothing, because he teaches you nothing. Wouldn't he teach you how to breathe fire, to light campfires and torches? You would sure think that, wouldn't you? But no, he keeps that to himself, and every other fire Pokemon on the planet also does not teach you that, unless there's something I'm missing. But my move shortcut wheel is already full, so I doubt it. Anyway, as you're bringing back Pokemon to the area, exploring and rebuilding crumbled structures like Pokemon centers, you're discovering lore snippets here and there left behind in the wake of humanity's vanishment that shed piecemeal light on what's going on and why nobody's around and why all these otherwise recognizable Kanto towns have gone apocalyptic. It's very interesting to wonder what happened and ponder the implications of certain data points you discover, especially as you get closer to the full picture, and when I watched the ending credit sequence, I cried for like 5 full minutes. Pro tip: when a certain story quest tells you to take a picture of seemingly extra importance with the game's camera mode, take a good one. Really try with it, and make sure you're in it too. This is Pokemon's best story to date, and I'm giving it a 95. Next is graphics, and this game looks like Dragon Quest Builders, which isn't all that impressive visually, but as far as Pokemon standards are concerned, this is among the best as well. I didn't see a single performance issue, the draw distance is pretty far, nothing looks rough or untextured, you're getting a crisp 60 FPS. It's basically everything you could ask for in a game like this. Graphics get an 80, which is like unheard of for a recent Pokemon game. Then we have mechanics, and Pokopia has all sorts of engaging gameplay hooks that make you not want to put it down even though it's 5 a.m. The world is your cloister. You can set about making outdoor habitats as nice as possible with decorations, or have Pokemon build pre-printed dens, huts, or cottages, or build your own houses block by adhering to specific rules that are not properly explained. The maximum room size a block-built house can be is somewhere in the 11 by 11 range, and the game never tells you that, so I was out here with a 13 by 13 making alterations for an hour, wondering why it didn't count. The tips and tricks section of the menu only says it has to be an enclosed space with 4 walls at least 2 blocks high and a door. You don't even need a roof. But the size thing is completely left out. You need 3 different pieces of furniture for a Pokemon to actually move in there, but even before that, it would still show as an empty house when you walked in if it met the hidden requirements, and mine wouldn't do that because it was too big apparently. So that's an annoying frustration to have in a game that is otherwise completely entrenched in freedom of expression, but even if building isn't something you want to get too constructy with, the core loop of discovering and implementing habitats to try and complete both the Pokedex and the Habitat Dex is just as, if not more, compelling than it is in regular Pokemon games, because every single new addition to your Pokedex feels so unique and substantial. This isn't just another slot in a PC box to fill. This is a living, breathing resident of a town you are reviving. These are your countrymen, and you are their steward, so even when Mr. Mime shows up and you're reflexively like, ew, that's still a citizen who looks up to you, and you will eventually willingly pay attention to him. Making habitats nicer and Pokemon more comfortable feeds into the environment level of the area, and raising that gives you access to more challenges for Pokecoins, and allows you to buy more things from the shop with said Pokecoins, like recipes and various individual items necessary for specific habitats and decoration, so you are properly incentivized not to leave your land in ruins or neglect your friends. The moves in Pokopia are extremely important to your activities, and some people are going to want to come in here right away and start building their perfect utopia brick by brick, but it's better to progress the story and move on to different areas long before you're done with previous ones, so you can unlock new transformations that make different aspects of traversal and terraforming and building so much quicker and easier. Take requests from Pokemon as they give them. Many moves and options are locked behind them. If you're wondering why you can't do something, odds are a Pokemon will show it to you eventually, like the ability to jump, or create different water sources, or spread electricity through towns, or quickly barrel through and destroy terrain. And once you beat the story, you get a transformation that is basically just Minecraft creative mode, where you can float around any elevation and replace blocks and just make building stuff way easier. That's not to say you should rush through and leave every place uglier than you found it, but maybe save your grandest plans for later. Pokopia also has multiplayer. You can have people over to visit your towns, but they can't help build in those, except for your special city zone, which is an area to the left of the first area across that huge bridge that is basically just a blank slate for you to put whatever on. That area is humongous and has unique Pokemon to find, so there's plenty to do. This game also has what are basically Minecraft realms in the form of cloud islands you can set up where you and other people can get on and build in a shared world even when the host isn't on, and that's pretty damn cool as well. One complaint many people online seem to have is the storage system, because there are so many decorations and individual items and building blocks and resources and all that. Managing your inventory can be insane, especially since you won't want to throw almost anything away because it might be important to a habitat later. Conversely, I was shocked at how many inventory spaces Pokopia gives your bag as you progress. I had what felt like 100 by the 4th area, so of course they were still almost always full at any given time. But yeah, some kind of universal storage would help a lot, because even your big storage boxes you can craft get full real quick, and then you'll need to do some purposeful organizing to make sure items you might need later don't get lost in the shuffle and you're out here opening every box you have looking for that one thing you forgot about. It didn't bother me as much as other people though. All in all, I give mechanics a 90. And now for fun. Is Pokopia fun? Obviously, but beyond that, it's meditative. It's rehabilitating. It's like filling your gas tank to full in preparation for a long drive. If I compare it to Animal Crossing and Disney Dreamlight Valley, which I'd call the other two biggest hitters in this genre that I've played, Pokopia comes out on top with room to spare. It's the best of its kind. If you are looking for a reason to get a Switch 2 and you even mildly enjoy this kind of thing, this is the reason. If COVID 2.0 happened right now, I'd be like, fair fair enough, man. We've got the next game to ride out the storm in New Horizons' place. Between this and how good Pokemon Winds and Waves looks, this is the beginning of a new Pokemon renaissance that is long overdue. The narrative can finally shift from Pokemon doing rushed hatchet jobs with terrible performance issues to Pokemon creating genre-topping experiences like this. Fun gets 100. And now for the overall score, which is not an aggregate of previous scores because some things are weighted differently. I'm giving Pokopia a 97 out of 100. You simply gotta. If you don't like the genre, then whatever, but for the people this game is made for, you must. And that's gonna do it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe. Watch all my other videos while giving me Lepa berries every time I walk by, and I'll see you guys next time.